how they love. Salve 4K. Hello. My goodness, I'm so sorry. That BGM was a lot louder than I expected. I was like, oh my goodness. My earballs. Hi everyone. Hello, hello. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Hello. Excuse me. Excuse me. But yes, I'm so sorry about the loud BGM. I was listening to some of my older BGMs actually yesterday because I don't know. I was just like, I kind of miss the old BGM, because I don't really play it anymore with the new outfit debut. And so I was like, I kind of miss it. And so I was just listening to the old BGMs last night and I forgot to turn the volume back down. And so, yeah. Well, hello everyone. A good morning, a good day, a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night. No matter what time it may be, I hope that you're having a wonderful, wonderful week so far. Hi everyone. Welcome on in. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Yesterday was Labor Day, so a lot of people in the US of A were off. And so if you had a day off yesterday, I hope you had a very lovely day off. Hi Conan! Yes, we do have a shiny hunt again today. Yes. Pokemon Legends ZA is quickly coming upon us. And so, I'm a little nervous. I was trying to finish Pokemon, at least in terms of the games that I haven't finished yet, like Scarlet and Violet, as well as Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, before ZA came out. And here we are, a month before Pokemon Legends ZA comes out. And so, yes, we have crunch time upon us now to get that shiny Piplup. Ladina's done. Hey, let's go. Let's go. So literally before I started to stream, I got pinged by the girlies and we did. Can I talk about it? Can I talk about it? if you don't want to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it. But I can talk about it. Do I have permission to talk about why we are crying and broke? But yeah, I got pinged. I got pinged by the girlies like right before stream started. Okay. So if you guys don't know, Hobonichis are a brand of journals essentially that come out every year. And so they have like the weeks version, they have like the day version, they have like the 5-year version, but they're expensive. And if you're talking about like shipping along with the tariffs now too, they're expensive. And so we decided to do a group buy for our Hobonichis for next year. And so the Hobonichis are essentially out. And so, yeah, they pinged me for the group buy today. And so they were like, which one you want? Oh, you want group buy? You want to join us for group buy? And I was like, okay, yeah. And so, yeah, we were just talking about like which ones to get together. And so that way, essentially, it's a lot cheaper just because of, splitting the shipping as well as just like, bundling everything together. And so, yeah, we decided to go with a group buy this year. Last year, I didn't do it because I think the one that I wanted ended up coming out a bit later compared to the other Hobonichis that the girlies got. And so for this year, we were like, okay, we're gonna group buy if possible. And so, yeah, we decided to group buy together. Yay! Wow! But yeah, we got our journals for next year together. Yes. And it's a lot cheaper now. Oh God, but the tariffs though, man, the tariffs are so expensive. Why? Why must they be so expensive? I mean, I know why, but God, they're so expensive. But it is what it is, Which one did you get? So for Trilly and I, we've ended up both getting like a week's one because we want to have a planner for our work, because we feel like it's just a lot easier to be able to write down things like what to do and to plan out like what we have stream wise or just like work wise in our weeks. And so we have a week's one, and then Trilly got the 5-year one because she got the 5-year one in 2020 and she wanted that one again. And then for me, I also I got the week's one too, but I did not get the 5-year one. I just decided to go for the A5 Han one, just because I want one that I can write in and journal about. And so, yeah, I have the original one just so that I can journal for memory's sake. And then I have the week's one for work, for stream, and to, you know, write down things like collabs, emails I have to respond to, deadlines, commissions, all that jazz. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm a big planner gal. Like, you know, when they gave out the free planners in university, I use the heck out of it because, I don't know, that kind of stuck with me. Like, ever since we did planners in school, I think it was like middle school that they started doing the whole planner thingamabob. I've always used planners. And so I'm very much a girl that likes to have things organized. If they're not organized, if I don't write them down, I will forget and I get stressed out. And so, yeah, I like me some planners. And so I use the heck out of my middle school planner. I use the heck out of my high school planner. Whenever they gave out the free planners in university, I use the heck out of that too. Yeah, planners are my lifesaver. They're my like lifeline when it comes to deadlines and stuff. Hello everyone, by the way, welcome on in. I just kind of started yapping about journaling, but yeah. I have a question. Is it possible to use Pringles to make mashed potatoes? I've seen it before in a video. Someone did make mashed potatoes out of Pringles. I don't know if it was Pringles specifically, but it was like chips. I don't know if it's the tastiest, but it is possible. I have seen someone make a video with mashed potatoes made out of potato chips. Yes, we bought it off of the Hobonichi site. Yeah. A lot of smaller US-based spots and sellers that have restock of it without the fear of tariffs. I will say though, Silva, I don't know if the restocks are gonna be better because for the US-based spots, they do tend to sell it for a little more expensive compared to like the actual site because it is like a restock. And with the tariffs this year, I feel like they're going to also add on the tariff markup. You know what I mean? And so personally, yeah, we got it from the Hobonichi site itself. And that's why we did the group buy so that we can split the cost of like the tariffs. Yeah. Hi, Lily Moonbun. Welcome on in. Hi, Azumi. Hello. Welcome on in. Hi, everybody. Hi, Haro. Hello, Isu. Hello, Ray. Hello as well to Arishu. Hi, Velvet. Hi, Sleeper. And of course, hello to the girlies. I already said hello to y'all, but hello again. Who did that? Excuse me, who did that? The prices don't seem too expensive. I mean, if it's for last year, they're probably a bit more affordable now, right? Since it's not like the line from last year. But for us, we decided to go for like the designs that came out for 2026. And so I don't know if those have been added yet to the site. But yeah, if you want to go for like, you know, like the ones from last year, right? If they're more affordable and they don't have like the weeks put into it, like they don't have the dates and stuff, then I say go for it, you know? We're all about going for the more affordable ones. Yeah. So at this point, it's been like a year since the stuff from this year has come out. And so if you want to go for those, you can go for those instead. DM? Okay. Give me 1 second. Why does my daily tea keep burning my tongue? I'm sorry, Lisa. That's actually wild. I feel like I haven't seen someone have that many teas burning their tongue. Okay. All right. Okay. What was it talking about? I forgot. Oops, I forgot what we were talking about. Elf just staring menacing at us. No, I don't know. If you guys did anything over the weekend, I don't know. I'm not clairvoyant, okay? I'm not a clairvoyant VTuber, all right? I am just a runaway bunny princess. So don't worry. You know, I only know if you tell me. Yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me. Please do not spray the black mold at me. Okay, that is not very nice. Not very nice. Hi, Vaya. Welcome on in. Holy, welcome on in. Nice to see you as well. How have you been? Kind of random things for tea wants. I know, right? It's supposed to be like a chance to have the tea just kind of randomly do things, and so, or not do things, but it's supposed to be random for the action that pops up whenever you order your daily tea. And so it's kind of, in a way, it's either really unlucky or very lucky that you've been able to get the tea burning your tongue every single time. I'm just like, what the heck is that chance of probability? Oh yes. Okay, I scrolled up. Yeah, so still lucky, like I said, yeah. So if you just want to get like a journal and you don't really care too much about like the accuracy of the dates, then I would say, yeah, just go for the ones from this year, because it's been 1 year now since the journals have released, right, for the 2025 line. And so, yeah, if you want to go for that one, you know, it is a good way to save money. But yeah, I remember seeing the restocks, though, for last year's lineup last year, and they were a little more expensive compared to the ones if you bought directly from this site. But once again, you know, there's just taking into account like the markup for the shipping that I took to get to there and all that jazz, you know. You want us to file the evidence under R for Ray or V for Vega? What the heck, Vayu? Excuse me, why are you trying to act like a detective? A lot has happened, but long story short, I'm able to draw again after months because of health issues. Wait, that's really awesome to hear. I'm really glad they're able to, able to draw again after months. I'm so sorry to hear that there were health issues, but I hope that, you know, you've had a smooth recovery, and I'm glad to hear that you're able to draw again. Oh, thank you for the water. I do need to drink some tea. Let's go, Holy. It's nice to have you here again. Don't worry, I won't cast chonk on you. Ruxer!
Elvays go, Elvadink donk.
Ruxer, thank you so much for the resub at 30 months. I hope you enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Welcome to the tea shop. I hope you enjoy your stay. Oh my god, my voice, hello, what's happening? My voice without the lies is what it sounds like. Sorry, I was eating some kimbap before the stream started, and so I'm a little phlegmy. I don't know why. Every time I eat food, I just get a little phlegmy. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm alright. Uh-oh. I don't feel so good. Uh-oh. It's happening! Hello, everybody. It is I, the one and only, the one that everyone is intimidated by, the one that they all fear. I'm sure you are shaking your boots right now, right? Hello. Thank you for the redeem scene. Hello, everybody. Yes, it is I, Chonk Vera. Fear fear. Yeah. Just take out the right of your part of your sentence day, and then you got that correct. Yeah. Everyone fears the chonk. Yes. Whenever I can try to get a plushie of Chongweer going, I'm sure once you guys get a plushie of Chongweer, you're gonna be afraid of her. You're gonna wake up in the middle of the night, you're gonna see the plushie, and you're gonna be like, oh Jesus Christ! You're gonna be a little afraid, right, of the plushie. Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah. That's a dream of mine, though. I really want to get like a chunk of plush, of Chongweer. I think that'd be really cute. I think that'd be so cute. Yeah, you guys can like punt Chongweer, you can squish Chongweer, you can be nice, you can like display Chongweer with your plushie collection, I think that'd be really cute. I think that'd be really nice, Hi, my pants are shiny. It's so nice to see you again. It's a pleasure to be here and donate some shiny luck. Thank you for the shiny luck. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's nice to have you here again. Hi. Second time seeing this form. Yes, Chongweer is kind of rare. I feel like Chongweer, she pops up every so often. She's like, All right. You guys want googly eyes? I got it. Hold your horses. A keychain Chongweer. I do want to do merch of Chongweer. I just don't know how or when. Because I still want to do like a, like my own shop. Because there is Ubu Market merch. If you guys want to get merch of me from Ubu Market. I also really want to have like my own shop too. Where you can just like buy merch. But I'm still kind of like debating between if I do pre-orders or if I do like set orders. If that makes sense, Because, I don't know, business and then tariffs make things complicated. And so I'm just like, I don't know. I've talked to a few friends about it that have their own merch. And I'm just like, there's like pros and cons to both, And so I don't know. We'll see. But I really do want to have like merch of Chongweer. Like just like a line of Chongweer stuff too. And I'm really glad. I'm glad you guys, look forward to that as well. Shiny Green Dino! Thank you so much for the resub at 4 months. I hope you enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Welcome to the tea shop. I hope you enjoy your stays at T-Bun. Thank you. And Ruxer, thank you for that resub at 30 months as well. The big 30. I hope you both enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Can we get some love and some hype in the chat, please, for those resubs? Thank you. Thank you so much for supporting Chongweer. Thank you. How do we know that you are our Elvira and not the Elvira from the Chonk dimension that is evading her chat to make her Humit? Exactly. You'll never know. You'll never know if her and I are one and the same, if we're different entities. The thing is, you've never seen both Humit and Chongweer in the same room, right? And so you'll never know. You'll never know. Never ever. No. You'll never know. No confirmation from me, at least. Oh no, Twitch won't work on Microsoft Edge. What the heck? If I'm being honest, I'm not surprised though. I feel like Microsoft Edge is definitely like the least popular out of all the browsers. And so maybe they're just like, yeah. Maybe a lot of sites are just like, yeah, we'll probably stop trying to push support out for Microsoft Edge, I'm so sorry though that it caused trouble for your subbing, your resub. But it's a pleasure to have you back here. I'm so sorry though. If you're someone that does use Microsoft Edge, that does suck. But hi Brad, welcome on in. Hello. Oh, you're eating shawarma. I hope you enjoy your shawarma. That sounds good. That sounds real tasty. Really? Oh, I read the first part day. I just so good at downloading, and then I was like, oh, and then I read the rest of it, and I was like, oh, that's true. I was like, that you did get me. You got me in the first part. That was pretty good. That was pretty good day. I'll give you that. That was pretty good. Also, oh my goodness, I don't think I missed it. Rudy, thank you for that resub at 56 months. 4 more months until the big 60. Thank you so much, Rudy, for almost 5 years of resubs. Thank you, thank you. And also, Mimorin, thank you for the resub at 13 months. A whole year and a month on top of that. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Welcome to the tea shop to y'all as well. Can we also get some more love and some hype in the chat, please, for those resubs? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. At least now I showed up for Bugs Vera. Bugs Vera! Hey, Bugs Bunny and I are not the same, okay? Bugs Bunny is Chungus, okay? Bugs Bunny is Chungus. I am Chonk Vera. Chungus and Chonk Vera are not the same, okay? Alright, I just want to clarify that real quick before anyone, gets their Chonk bunnies mixed up. Alright, but we're not the same, okay? Chungus Vera is not Chonk Vera, okay? Chungus is Chungus. Chonk Vera is Chonk Vera. Yeah. No, we're not even distant cousins. What the heck? We're not even cousins. We're not cousins. Chungus and I are not related, okay? Alright? We are different. We are not the same. No. But yeah! Hi! Hello, everyone. Welcome on in. I got a little into some yapping as soon as the stream started, but today is Tuesday, and I do want to talk about PAX West. Also, Rage Steve, congratulations on redeeming first today. I hope you enjoy being first of today's stream. Yay! Pachi. Congratulations on being first. But yeah, today I want to talk about PAX West for reals this time because a few people reached out to me and they were like, I watched through the entire VOD waiting for PAX West conversation and it never happened, and I was like, yeah. I was like, oh yeah. I kind of got a little distracted on Sunday about the conversations, that we were having, and so yeah. But I have it though. I have the pictures and I have the stories, and so today we will talk about PAX West. All right? Yes. Today will actually be the proper conversation about PAX West, and then we're gonna hop into some shiny hunting. And I'm also gonna play some more Grand Bazaar because I'm very excited to play some more Grand Bazaar. Alright? Okay. Okie dokie. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Alright. Okie dokie. Today is a day indeed. Yes. But yeah, did you guys go to any conventions? I know that PAX West was this weekend because I was there, obviously. But did you guys go to any other conventions? I know there were a couple other ones that happened too that I think some of y'all went to. Hi, Mod Rocker! Welcome on it. Yes, of course. Yes, we're going to play some Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. I am addicted, of course. Yes. And also, if you guys are curious about the schedule, I did release my schedule for the week yesterday in the Discord, as well as in YouTube side, if you want to check them out. But yeah, we got an exciting week happening, and I am ready to play some Grand Bazaar later. Hi, hello. Welcome. But yes, we'll talk about PAX West first, though, since I robbed y'all of the PAX West stories on Sunday. What the heck? Hello? I'm here, but I'm back to Human Vera, which means I have opposable thumbs again. Yippee! Hi, hello. Imagine that one day we actually get to play. I know, right? Today could be the day. Today I'm going to try to see if today can be the day where we are able to get into the actual gameplay of Pokemon Shining Pearl, And so we're gonna talk about PAX West as I reset. And so I'm gonna multitask, all right? Or actually, no. Maybe I'll just do like a quick rundown of PAX West, and then we'll hop on in, and then we can like go more in detail about it. I saw someone made it to winter last night. Really? People have been zooming. I feel like the people that I've watched play Story of Seasons, they've all gone to summer at least now, you know? And I'm just like, I'm right there. I'm about to be in summer too. But yeah, I've been fighting like every urge, every ounce, every, you know, desire in my body to want to play off stream. Because I want to have it be on stream, you know? And so, yeah, we're going to play some more today after we do some shiny hunting. But yeah, first things first though, is that I do want to talk about PAX West since that did happen this weekend. It's not a joke, Brad. It's not a joke. Okay, we're gonna play. We're gonna play. Okay, I believe we will play. Yes. Okay, all right. Yes. But yeah, here I'll go ahead and do like I'll start setting up as I talk about it. But yeah, I don't know if you guys heard on Sunday. But yes, we actually did go to PAX West this weekend. We went on specifically Friday and Saturday, and so it was really fun. It was the second time that we've gone to PAX West. And it was, if you guys don't know, PAX West is a convention held in Seattle. It's in the Seattle Convention Center, and it happens once a year. And this year, it was a 4-day convention. I don't know if it was 4 days last year, but yeah, it was 4 days this year. And so we went on Friday and Saturday, and it was really fun. It was fun. I feel like, it's always been 4 days? Oh. I forgot. I have bad memory. But okay, so yes, it's always been 4 days. But yeah, PAX West, we last went to 2 years ago, I believe. Yeah. And so I was curious about how much it's changed, you know? And it has changed. If you don't know, it's held in 2 parts of the convention. There's a side called the Summit side, and then there's a side called the Arch side. And so here's a picture if you want to see what it looks like on the Summit side. I forgot to take a picture of the Arch side because the Arch side of the convention, it's more like on the side of like a bunch of buildings as opposed to being like more standout in terms of like the building itself. And so I forgot to take a picture of like Arch itself. But the Summit I do have right here. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, I did post these pictures last night. But if you did not see, I can post them here today as well. But here. So here's the convention center for those that don't know what it looks like. But it looks like this right here. Give me 1 second. Hi, Jackson. Did you have fun waiting in lines? Oh, just wait, Jackson. I can tell you all about the lines here in a second. Hi, boss. Welcome on in as well on the YouTube side. Hi, Zathiel. Welcome on in. And hello as well to Nimby and Today watching on the YouTube side. And for anyone else watching on YouTube, welcome. This is dual streaming. I am live both on YouTube and on Twitch. Okay. So here is a picture of the Summit side of PAX West. And so this is what you usually see if you go to like what people think about when you think of like the convention center for Seattle. And so yeah, we went here first after picking up the badges because badge pickup started on Thursday if you want to go like a day before the convention started, but we decided to pick it up on Friday instead. And so yeah, since we were only gonna go on Friday and Saturday, so we picked it up on Friday. And then we went to the Summit first. And the Summit side, 2 years ago, it was like more of like an indie side, in my opinion, like more of the indie games from the indie developers. And for this year, I felt like it was kind of similar in the sense. They had like a tabletop section. They had a TCG section. They had the Art of Nintendo section that I showed off on Twitter, which I'll show here in a second. But yeah, and then they also had the Creator Lounge, which is right where the logo is at. The logo is covering the Creator Lounge. But it was really cool. The Creator Lounge essentially was like an area where if you had the content creator badge, you could go there and they had like free Red Bull. I think Red Bull sponsored it probably, I guess, or something like that. But yeah, there was like free Red Bull. And then there's some other fun stuff in there too, which I'll talk about in a second as well. But yeah, I'll go ahead and start with the Summit side. So, like I mentioned, they had a lot of more expos and hall stuff as opposed to game demos on the summit side. And so one of the first things that we checked out was the exhibit for the Art of Nintendo. I don't know if the Art of Nintendo Power is like different from Art of Nintendo. I wasn't entirely sure what it was about, but it was really cool. I didn't take pictures inside in terms of like for public, just because I didn't know if I was allowed to post these in public. But yeah, there's like a bunch of frames that you kind of see in the picture right there where they have a bunch of art of Nintendo games. There was Star Fox, there was Mega Man, there was Kirby, there was Zelda, there was a bunch of magazines, it looked like, as well as art that was drawn. It was really cool. It was really cool. Although we were there like very early, and so because of that, the person that was like setting up the expo wasn't entirely finished yet, and so we were allowed to go in, but it was still not like open, and so it was like us and then another group of people that the person was talking to. Nintendo Power is the magazine they used to publish. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, because all the pictures pretty much were like different magazines, you know, of Nintendo art, and so that makes a lot of sense now. Thank you. But yeah, there was like, you know, different showcases of different magazines, and then there was a little somebody that was kind of there that kind of like scared me when I first saw it, but in the corner of one of the in the expo hall for Nintendo Power, there was a random standee. It's not a person in a costume. It's like a big plushie, or I guess maybe it's like a costume that's on display of Mario. But I saw it in the corner and it kind of scared me because I thought it was somebody in a costume at first, in cosplay. But no, it's like an actual Mario, you know, on display. And so I didn't get close to it, but yeah, I took a picture of it, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of like stared into my soul, and it kind of scared me, you know? I was just like, oh my God. Because I know Mario for like the newer version of Mario. I don't know this Mario, and so, yeah, Elvin, it wasn't just you, yeah. I think... Yeah, Milky on Twitter also commented that that's Nightmare Fuel. And I'm like, yeah, it does feel like Nightmare Fuel for those that are not familiar, right, with this version of Mario. And so I'm just like, oh God, this Mario is like staring into my soul. Hi, Adidu, welcome on in. How you doing today? Can we get a shout out for Adidu, please? Welcome. It's nice to see you. Yeah, that Mario is pretty scary, right? I was just like, oh my goodness. You will laugh. I own a smaller size plushie like that. Really? I don't think I would laugh at that. Because once again, you know, it is an older Mario design. And so I feel like, you know, it's same thing too with like some of the older designs of game characters.
Modrocker94 gifted a tier 1 sub to Ariru_. They have given 147 gift subs in the channel.
Mod Rocker, thank you for gifting a sub to Adidu. Adidu, I hope you enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Welcome to the tea shop. I hope you enjoy your stay as a tea bun. Thank you so much, Mod Rocker. Can we get some love and some hype in the chat, please, for that very kindly gifted sub from Mod Rocker? Thank you. Thank you. His eyes are following. Exactly. Check like box art for Super Mario Bros. 2 US version. That's kind of similar, I guess. No, but exactly though, right? Like I feel like a lot of older designs, you know, might not be as cute as we know now for more of like the current designs of characters. And so it's a little scary. But, you know, for those that, you know, remember this, it's nostalgic. And so I'm not gonna laugh if you have a plushie of this Mario, because once again, nostalgia. It's like Pikachu, you know, Pikachu, like in the first design, it was a lot chonkier. And then over the years, Pikachu got, you know, a bit more, I guess, like, got more curves, I guess you could say, instead of just being like a big old chonk. And so I think, you know, old Pikachu is very nostalgic for me. But there are some people that learn about, you know, like chonky Pikachu for one of its first designs, and they're just like, what the heck is that? And I'm just like, that's Pikachu. That's Pikachu right there. It's a me, Mario! Oh, yeah. But yeah, so that was one of the first expos that we saw. And then, like I mentioned, the Creator Lounge. So the Creator Lounge was really cool because it was like a small little room. Hey, and you had to have like the content creator badge in order to be able to go in there. But it was really chill. It was supposed to be a spot for content creators to like recharge and to relax. And so I didn't post this on Twitter, but this is like a little something for y'all here on my stream. And so this is the first thing that you kind of see when you enter into the content creator lounge. Cha-cha! It's so cool. So they have, once again, the Red Bull Creator Club 2025, you know? And a bunch of people were able to sign this board if you want to sign it, right? And so, you know, if you had gone there, right? Like if you're a fellow content creator and you had gone here, you might have seen my signature. I did sign the board. No, the lowest signature is not mine. Okay, Jackson. All right. Okay. Although I will say, for our signatures, because Shen also signed it too. But yeah, it's like it is on the lower half. Okay, all right, lower half. But not because I'm short. Okay, I don't know. I just wanted to sign wherever I saw space. I didn't think about it like, okay, I'm gonna sign up here. I'm gonna sign over here. You know. But yeah. So as you can see, it was like Red Bull themed, and then for the drinks, they were Red Bull themed as well, obviously. And so they had 2 drinks on the menu, and essentially, if you wanted to get a drink, you could go for like the tropical, like pina colada, I think they called it one. And so that's like the tropical Red Bull mix. It's like mixed in with some juice. And then there's like the other one, which is like a berry one. But the berry one felt like a bit of a like a false advertisement though, because with the berry one, the picture made the drink look entirely pink, but with the drink, as you can see on the left, it's not pink. They put in some berry juice, but not enough berry to overpower the color of the original Red Bull color. And so yeah, it wasn't really that pink, you know. I was just like, I was kind of sad. I wanted it to be pink. It's not a leaf, it's a mint. Okay, they put a mint into the tropical one. All right, it's part of the drink. All right. But yeah, it was pretty tasty though. It was nice that they gave out free Red Bulls. I definitely felt like it helped me get some energy back at like the halfway point of both days that we went. And so that was nice, you know. Can we also appreciate how cool this looks, by the way? For some reason, Red Bull had like a Tetris booth as well, where you could play like life-size Tetris. But the Red Bull cans had Tetris pieces on them. And so it was like a Tetris-themed can for Red Bull. But these weren't given out for free. I think these are mainly given out if you went to the Tetris event booth outside. And so that was cool. I was like, whoa, Red Bull and Tetris. Very cool, very cool. Hi, Derpy. Welcome on in. How you doing today? I did not tippy-toe to sign it. You know, if I had tried to sign a bit higher up, then yes, I probably would have tippy-toed to sign it. But I decided to sign somewhere where I did not have to tippy-toe just because there was space, you know? And so I was just like, all right, I'll just sign right here. But you know what was so cool, though? You know what was so cool about the Creator Lounge? I did not expect the Creator Lounge to have this. Look! It's peak! It's peak! It's actual peak! It's the peak, but Red Bull Creator Club 2025 edition, you know? And essentially, what this is like a physical prop layout of peak. You know, there's like the peak backdrop, there's the peak palm trees, there's Bing Bong, there's the suitcases, they have the badges, they have the lollipop, right? And there's like dynamite, there's the bugle, there was the banana peel and stuff like that. And I thought that was so cool. But yeah, I guess they had a collab with Peak along with the Red Bull for the Content Creator Lounge. And so for this is like a little photo op area where if you wanted to, you could pose with the props from Peak. And so you could pose, take pictures. They had like the official like photo booth camera where you could actually like take pictures of the of this backdrop that you have right here. And then there was like a little station on the right of this backdrop photo op area where they had 4 laptops where you could play Peak in the lounge. And so I was just like, dang. And then at the like bar area where they were giving out the free Red Bull drinks, they also had like a bunch of Peak gameplay just like playing on a bunch of monitors. And so I was like, dang, okay, Peak, I see you. When Wuppo sees the Tetris booth, I know, I forgot to take a picture of the Tetris booth outside just because you would walk by it every time. And so, yeah, I forgot to take a picture of it. Is that lollipop scale to the game? Is that really how big they are? Probably. I looked at it, right? And I was just like, dang, that's a really big lollipop. Okay, I'll say this. Okay, I'm gonna out myself. The lollipop is like the same size as me. It was like the same height as I was. And so I was just like, dang, I don't know. This is like properly scaled though, you know? Because in the game, the lollipop is not the same size as you are. And so the lollipop's a bit bigger, I feel like, compared to the scale of like in-game to IRL. Yeah. I did not climb the peak IRL. Oh, I mean, if you count like climbing onto the prop itself, yes, okay, I did climb onto the props, you know, like the mountain prop for the picture. And so I did, but it's not the same as like, you know, climbing the peak in game. All right. Hi, West. Welcome on in. How you doing today? Hello. But yeah, I thought it was so cool. I held Bing Bong. I was like, wow, Bing Bong's real. And then we also had like another section. Here, let me show you. So this is the drawing. I don't have a picture of the full drawing ready, but this is a picture. This is like a really big picture. It was like the size of the wall. And throughout the weekend, there was an artist that just kind of was drawing the artwork live. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's supposed to be peak. And so the other half shows like a dragon, and it shows like a bunch of other peak characters. But look, you can see the little designs. So you can see like the really big peak character, right? And then you can see like the other smaller peak characters in the back. Right here. Ta-da! You see the character that's on fire? I tagged Twirly and I was like, look, Twirly, we found you. It's you. We don't have that scene. We don't have that clip because this was like one of the one days where we had played Peak off stream, you know, for like the first time when we first played Peak. And so we have this memory of Twirly like being on fire in Caldera, but we don't have the clip of it. But yeah, that's essentially Twirly in Caldera that one time that we played and she was on fire. But it's really cute though. I thought it was so cool because all the artist was using was just a Sharpie. It was like a big fat Sharpie and they were using it to draw on this board. And so it was really cool to see the drawing progress between, you know, Friday and Saturday, since those are the 2 days that we went. And so that was cool. That was cool to see that. Hello, Akira. Thank you so much for the good luck. I really appreciate that. Thank you. The coconut tree. It was an actual solid prop. Here, I can go back to the picture. Let me go back. Look. Everything was like a solid prop. If I zoom in, you can see. So the tree is actually 3D. It was like firm. And then you have Bing Bong. And then you can kind of see like the bugle in the corner in the suitcase. There's like the bugle. And then they had like the sticks of dynamite. They had the banana peel. The rope you could actually pull onto if you want to pull onto the rope. Like if you place down rope on the mountain in Peak. And then you can see they have the banana peel right here. They have the scout badges right there, right? They have a hat if you want to put on a hat, you know? I thought it was so cute. I thought this was such a cute little thingy to put in the Creator Lounge. And so, yeah, that was the Peak theme in the Creator Lounge for PAX West. And then after that, after like roaming around, if you decide to go over to like the tabletop area, this is like a little picture of the tabletop area that did not show on Twitter, but look, they have like tabletop stuff. So there's like a TCG section. There's, you know, vendors selling their TCG. There's also a bunch of people that were selling dice if you're into D&D and other games that utilize, you know, dice, and a bunch of other merch too. Very cool. There was a whole expo, like a whole room specifically just for tabletop. Hi Adisu, hi Bean, welcome on in. How you doing today? And then oh wait, I forgot to show the screenshot. Look, this is the laptop. So they had laptops and you could play Peak. And so we did play Peak because there's a point where we were waiting for some friends to meet up with us at the Creator Lounge. And so we decided to play some Peak. And you can see me right there. I don't know why. I changed it. I changed it to be blue, like, you know, my usual character. But for some reason, it wouldn't change how I look. And so, yeah, I was an orange gumball that day. But yeah, I was playing Peak at the lounge. And then, if you headed over to the Arch area. So the Arch was the other building from the convention that I mentioned, right? So once again, Summit is where we first started. And this is like the main area that people see. But if you went to the Arch building, the Arch building had like the big name company games that you could try out, right? Along with the indie games. Because I feel like, I don't know, 2 years ago, the indie games were on the Summit side. But I guess this year, maybe they decided to like put it all in one area just to make it easier, right? And so one of the first things that you see if you go to the Arch building is you see Bandai Namco was one of the first stalls that you would see if you entered in from a specific side. And so Bandai was there. It was really cool. They had this they had some ribbons that you could collect and put onto your badge if you wanted to. And so for me, I did collect them whenever they were given out. And one of the badges, or one of the ribbons that I got, it was actually a badge ribbon for Sword Art Online. And it was so cool because there's an artist friend that I have. I don't know if you guys, know her, but her name is Soyu. And I saw that Soyu did art for the game not too long ago, right? But what I didn't know is that they turned her art into the official ribbon that they were giving out for the booth. And so it was really cool. It was really cool to receive the ribbon and then recognize Soyu's art on the ribbon. I was like, oh my god, it's Soyu's art! And so, yeah, I got that ribbon. Really cute. We didn't try any of the games though, just because the line was really long. And so we didn't go here. But there was like a photo op if you want to get some free merch. I think it was like a bag or a lanyard if you want to take a picture on a motorcycle prop that they had. And so the motorcycle prop is like literally behind the booth that you see in the picture. But yeah, we did take a picture at the motorcycle. But the really cool thing is that around the time that we went to go take a picture, 2 official cosplayers for Code Vein actually popped out for some photo ops. And so it was like perfect timing. Even though the bags were gone for the merch, we still got the lanyard and we also got the photo op with the official cosplayers. And so I was like, that's really cool. It was really, really cool to see that. And then, of course, another big company. You guys might have heard of them before, but we went to Nintendo. Nintendo had like a whole section in Arch, of course, because it's a huge company, right? And they had Kirby Air Riders specifically in one section, right? And then they had Pokemon Legends ZA on the other side, right? So Air Riders and Pokemon Legends ZA were by far like the most popular stalls at Nintendo for PAX West. And the lines, they had to be closed off after like a certain section was reached in terms of the line. And so whenever we tried to go demo both games, they would always be closed. And so unfortunately, we were not able to try out Kirby Air Riders, nor were we able to try out Pokemon Legends ZA. But yeah, it was super packed. It was super packed, super busy. There was like this like pipeline type of fast pass that you could have gotten online if you had bought it like online or signed up for it, I think before the convention happened. But we didn't know about it, and so we weren't able to get that either. So unfortunately, yeah, we didn't get to try out Kirby Air Riders or Pokemon Legends ZA. But there was another section for Nintendo where it was more of like still popular games, but not as big, as those two, of course, right? But the other section, they had a bunch of games for Nintendo as well, including Hades 2, as you can see in this picture right here. So I think the other half, it had Hades 2, it had Borderland 4, it had Silk Song, it had Final Fantasy VII Remake, It had Elden Ring, the Tarnished edition, and then I think a few other ones that I'm missing. But yeah, this one we stood in line for what felt like almost 2 hours. It was a very long line. Like, despite it not being as big as, you know, Kirby Air Riders and Pokemon Legends ZA, it still took us a while. It took us a while to get into this line. And so yeah, we tried out Hades 2. Hades 2 was really fun. I died in like 2 minutes. And so I didn't play it for long, but I thought it was really cool to try it out. And then Shen tried out the Final Fantasy VII Remake. And then at this point, the main reason why I wanted to go into this section was actually because I wanted to try out Silk Song. I wanted to go try out Silk Song, but unfortunately, they told us that Silk Song was like on a ticket basis. And the way that it works is that you wouldn't know if you were able to be part of the Silk Song demo until you got to the very front of the line. And then they would tell you on the spot, like, oh yeah, you made it, or you didn't make it. And so I was like, okay, well.
Charles345, hello Charles345, Kissy, Charles345, Kissy.
Charlene, thank you so much for the resub at 22 months. I hope you enjoy your emotes as well as your sub badge. Welcome to the tea shop. I hope you enjoy your stays at T-Bun. Thank you so much, Charlene, for 22 months. 2 more months until 2 whole years. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you. Can we get some love and some hype in the chat, please, for that resub from Charlene? Thank you, thank you. But yeah, the raffle system was kind of, I don't know, in my opinion, it kind of felt a little messed up because you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know if you got the chance to play Silk Song until you got to the front of the line. And the way they explained it was that they were like, okay, we only have 1 table for Silk Song, right? And so they could only have up to 4 people play Silk Song at a time. And so you wouldn't know if you were part of the Silk Song demo players until you got to the front. And so what they said was that if you want to try again, you could try getting in line again and then kind of hoping that you'll have a chance to play. But we were just like, that's kind of BS, you know? Because you're going to wait in line for another like hour or so and then get a chance to potentially play a Silk Song. I don't know. I didn't like that. I was just like, that raffle system seems a bit off. Because the way it worked is that it was every hour. Every hour you had a chance to play Silk Song. But it's only 4 people every hour. And so they said that some people try to time it so that they could be able to hop in. But I feel like what they should have done is that they should have given the tickets at the beginning. You know, like if you got into the line, you know, at the end of the line, they'll give you tickets if you were able to play Silk Song. And then you try again later. You know what I mean? And so I was just like, oh man, that's kind of sucked. So no Silk Song, but like I said, we did try out Hades 2, and we also had Final Fantasy VII Remake. Hi Admiral, welcome on in. Hi Jikarus, hello. Thank you so much, by the way. Yeah. I feel like they could have done like a proper raffle. Yeah, instead of like having it be something that you're told when you finally get into the front of the line, you know, it just didn't make sense to me, but I was like, whatever, it's fine. So no Silk Song, unfortunately, but yeah, those were the 2 games that we tried out. And then at this point, we hadn't had food yet, and so at least for me personally, I was really hungry, and so I didn't have the energy to try out other games. And so we tried out the 2 games, and then we went to go get food. And after food, let me see, am I missing any other pictures? Oh wait, I forgot to show this one. So for those that are into Borderlands, there's a picture of some displays. Look at that, how cool. So they had like a Borderlands 4 area specifically for Borderlands 4. And so they had like the statues, they had the whole entire like themed area. There was even like a rage room specifically for Borderlands. And what that means, if you guys don't know, is that there's a room where you can break stuff, you know, safely. And so that was something specifically for Borderlands. And I think it was a contest of some sort. Like if you had participated in the rage room and you posted it online, you were able to win a contest potentially. But yeah, it was so loud. It was so loud. I remember we were at the Gamer Subs section because they had a Gamer Subs booth. And we were just like trying out samples, right? Then as we were trying out samples, all of a sudden we hear like glass breaking and loud noises. And so we went to see what was happening, and it was the Borderlands Rage Room. And so, yeah, you could go in there and you could break stuff, you know, if you want to break some stuff. But of course, you know, in a safe manner. But I don't know, I was just like, oh, interesting, okay. That's one way to, I guess, you know, bring attention to a booth. But yeah, so that was also in Arch building. And then on the other side, I think the Arch building, it was like split off into 2 sections. And so for the indie side of things, they had, you know, indie games. And so, I didn't take a lot of pictures here, but as you can see, they have Borderlands back there. And then there's a few other games that they had here too. And so, yeah, indie and like mainstream were kind of combined together. Indie and corporate games were combined together in the Arch building. But yeah, it was really fun. There's a bunch of games that we tried out. There was a bunch of games that were giving out a lot of like swag, as they called it, right? Or free merch. And it was really busy. It was super busy. Are you gonna play Derpy? Are you gonna play Borderlands? But yeah, it was cool though. It was a really nice convention. Very fun, very chill, and super busy. If you guys want to go to PAX West, I highly recommend going on Friday, because Friday was a day where it was still busy, but not so busy to the point where it felt like you had no chance to get into a line. Because come Saturday, when we went on Saturday, it was busy, but it was like busier by like tenfold, it felt like, because, you know, obviously Friday, right? People are still at work, people are still at school, and so people don't really have the time to go on Fridays unless it's like later in the day. But on Saturday, it's a weekend, you know? And so everyone was there on Saturday, and there was just like no chance to get into any lines whatsoever. And so if you want to do out demos and stuff, demos are the best on Fridays. Same thing too with if you want to get like free merch or free swag, as they called it, right? Definitely go on Friday, because once again, it just gets so busy. Like there was a booth that we wanted to go back to get some free merch, right? But it was so busy that the line was capped even at the indie games, because, you know, they want to make sure that there's space for people to be able to walk in the halls. And so yeah, it was just super busy. Sunday and Monday we did not go to, but I'm assuming Sunday was less busy compared to Saturday. And then Monday was probably either really busy or not as busy, because it was Labor Day. And so, yeah, I feel like Friday was definitely the best day to go if you had wanted to go. But yeah, that picture right here is the stuff that I got for the content creator badge. And so it's the content creator badge. They gave us the Red Bull Creator Club pin as well. And then they also have the map, of course, that comes with every badge, so you can see where they go. Yeah, for the convention. And same thing for next year too. They already emailed me that for next year, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to do another Labor Day weekend convention. And so I think next year, they specifically said that it's going to be from September 3rd to September 7th. And so next year, it's going to be September. Yeah. So if you guys want to, you know, get a heads up about next year's PAX West, they do have it already available in terms of the dates. Yeah, I think that, yeah, they specifically utilized Labor Day weekend. And so, yeah, they kept it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, usually I see also Thursday to Sunday. But yeah, they made it Monday because of the holiday. Exactly, yeah. So next year, same thing. Once again, it's going to be Labor Day weekend, but from September 3rd to September 7th. Yes. Planning already. We'll be going on Derpy. If you guys come by, I think it'll be real fun. I think it'll be really fun. Some places like using Monday. I think only if it's like Labor Day weekend or like something where they have off on Monday, right? Yeah, because of the holiday. Exactly. Yeah. TwitchCon 2026. Maybe seeing this year guaranteed TwitchCon, but yeah, maybe next year. I think it depends on how TwitchCon's gonna be this year. Yeah. If it was Thursday, that would be so awesome, because for sure it'll be even less people. Oh, that's true. That's true. If it was on a Thursday, it would be even less people. That's true. Labor Day isn't a bank holiday? What does that mean? Well, what's a bank holiday? TwitchCon Europe. Okay, I don't know about that. Europe's kind of expensive, but I'd be down though. I'd be so down to go to TwitchCon Europe because even though Europe wasn't super high on my list of places that I wanted to go to when I was younger, I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to at least visit Europe once, you know? And so that'd be really fun if I could go visit Europe and also go to TwitchCon Europe to see some, you know, European friendos as well as some community members in Europe. What the heck? What do you mean don't come here? What the? I think it'd be fun, you know, we can hang out. And I know there's quite a number of people here in the community as well that are also in Europe. And so I think it'd be a fun opportunity, you know, to meet members over there as well as to meet friends over there too. Yeah. Bank holidays are the ones that businesses, banks and such close during the Monday holiday. Oh, I see, I see. No, thank you. You're going on your own? That's fine by me, you know. Yeah, Shen's not really looking forward to going to any trips to Europe. So I completely understand, you know. Like if that's not his cup of tea, I might be fine with that too. Did you get to roam around Seattle? Mopop? What is Mopop? What's that? I want to go to EU. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun, you know? I'm down to visit a place, you know, even if it's just like once. Not that he hates you. Oh, Bio. Oh, all the European friendos, they're just like, oh, man. But yeah, he's not really big on traveling to Europe, which is understandable, you know, because I know some people they're the exact same way. Some people want to go to Europe, some people want to go to Japan, some people want to go to Hawaii, right? And so it just, you know, it just depends on where people want to go. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I said, when I was younger too, I wasn't really thinking about going to Europe and stuff, but over the years, I'm like, I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to go visit friends and visit community members and, you know, check out stuff in Europe, right? Not that I am unbrothering him. How dare you see it? How dare. Oh, federal holidays too. Oh. You want to go to all the above? I feel like for me, I don't know. Like I know people always talk about like the Bahamas or like Hawaii and stuff like that. I want to go to Hawaii like once, but I'm not gonna lie. Growing up, the like tropical areas weren't really like a big part of my like travel plans. Just because I don't know. Like I think it was just people always talk about like Hawaii and they always talked about like the Bahamas and the Caribbean and stuff like that. And I was just like, it sounds cool. You know, like the food in Hawaii especially sounds really nice. But I don't know. It wasn't something where I was like, I want to go. You know, like I think for me, it was mainly Japan. Japan was like the main place that I was just like, I really want to go. You know, I'm always down to go to Japan. I'm just like, I love Japan. It's just so fun over there. And so, yeah, I felt like for like Hawaii and for Europe, I was like, I'm down to go at least once and check things out type of thing, you know? Adopted? What the heck? He said he'll go. He said he'll go once. He said he'll go once. To catch a fade? What does that mean, Derby? To catch a fade? Yeah, you like to go to Hawaii? I really want to try out the food in Hawaii. I want to go to the Hawaii 7-Elevens and get myself some spam musubis. I can make them myself, but I don't know. It's something about like getting the food there, you know? I also want to, you know, get the shaved ice there. I want to get the fresh poke over there. I want to, you know, get all the shrimp. I've seen the shrimp being sold there. Oh my God, it looks so good. Why come to EU? What do you mean? EU sounds really cool. You know, there's a lot of things that I want to check out. Like I want to go to England. I want to go to France, Italy. I think it'd be fun just to like go sightseeing, you know. I don't know. I sound like a default Dan tourist, but I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to you know, check out the sights and just kind of see what it's like over there. Like experience the culture. You know, it's nice to experience what it's like in different places. And so I would love to like walk down the streets of like England or like walk down the streets of Italy or walk down the streets of France, you know? Scotland, yeah! I'd be down to walk down the streets of like Scotland. I think it'd be fun. It'd be fun just to experience the culture and the neighborhoods and see the architecture of the buildings, you know? I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun just to kind of like enjoy the food there too, right? Hey, who did that? Excuse me. But yeah, that's pretty much it though. That's pretty much it for my PAX West story for those that were curious. There's like other pictures of food and whatnot too. But I didn't upload those. So maybe I'll upload those another time. But yeah, as we're chatting about traveling, I'll pull up Pokemon so we can get started on shiny hunting. And then we can chat more about it. Yeah, come to EU. I think it'd be really fun. And I feel like TwitchCon would definitely be like the best opportunity, you know, to go meet up with members in the community that are from EU, right? And so, yeah, I do want to at least try going to TwitchCon Europe at least once. At least once. Just to meet y'all over there too. Paris would be fun with your SO. Oh, I always hear about that. Yeah, they're like, you know, they're always like Paris, you know, the romantic travel spots. But I think Paris can be fun too, you know, if you want to go with your SO or go with your friends or your family. Petty is just, at least from when I was in French class and my teacher talked about it, it just seems like a really, really, you know, nice place to hang out and walk around and take cute pictures and eat some, you know, bite-sized food and whatnot. Oh my god, though, but I heard there's a place though in Paris where you can get like a gigantic cup of, I think it was what, espresso or a cappuccino. It's like a huge cup, you know, and they're known for that spot for the huge cup. And I don't drink coffee like that, but I'm like, dang, for those that are coffee lovers, that's probably the place to go if you like coffee like that, you know? If I could have that, but for like jasmine tea, oh man, that'd be the dream. I love, oh, or even just like Earl Grey. Oh god, I love Earl Grey. I love Earl Grey. I love jasmine. Yeah, the point emote. It's the first time I've been able to use the point emote in a picture. Ta-da! But yeah, if you guys like the emote right there, the point, that was drawn by Glacia. Glacia drew that for her charity rewards for the Gamers Outreach that happened recently. And so I did donate to her charity goal and I got an emote as well. Super cute. Super, super cute. Okay, let me hop over to our gaming scene of the... Yeah, I forget what... Oh my god, that... Why is it so big for the shiny counter? Hello? Hello? It's not supposed to be that big. Hold on, give me 1 second. Hello? There we go, okay, alright. Ah! Okay, there we go. And then, where's my shiny Piplup? Here. There we go. And then I'm gonna move it over a little bit. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I saw it on TikTok. I saw it on like a shorts or a TikTok or a reel. I don't remember where, but I saw it. Yeah, it was a video of this gigantic cup of coffee that someone got from a place in France. I don't know if it was in Paris specifically. It probably was. But I was like, dang, that's a big cup of coffee. The real Paris baguette while in Paris. I love Paris baguette, but I would love to have like... I want to know what the bread is like, because I always hear about how like American bread is really sweet compared to bread in Europe, you know, from some friends of mine. And so I'm like, dang, I wonder what it's like over there to have like real bread, you know? Also, food tray gone, controller up. Ta-da! And then the fan art slideshow is up here. And then I'm gonna boot up the game. Give me 1 second. Rustic bread in the US isn't sweet. What is rustic bread? Is that like the bread loaves of bread? I don't know. I feel, were they talking about like white bread? Like, you know, like the square white bread? Because I feel like that's what they think about when they think about American bread, you know? Like the bread that they use for Crustables? Do you guys remember Crustables? Oh my gosh, I remember people, when they brought them to school for school lunches, they were like the cool kids, you know? They were like, oh, you got money like that. You have money to bring Crustables. Where's my... Ah, here it is. Give me 1 second. Where's my game capture? There it is. Okay. Alright. Holy moly, that took a little bit for me to plug in. Sorry, my window capture's all like bugged out right now. Hold on. OBS, where art thou? That's not OBS. There you are. Alright. Okay. And then... here it is. Who did that? And then... shiny counter. I can actually fix this. I forgot the dimensions are different on this screen. Alright, there we go. There we go. You want bread? Which one of the 3,000 kinds of breads do you want? I don't know. What would you recommend, Bio? Like, what kind of bread would you recommend to an American? Like, I don't know. I just heard about it all the time from friends. Like, I think, yeah, just friends that went to America for the first time, and they're just like, "Why is your bread so sweet in America?" And I didn't know that our bread was very sugary like that. You know? Yeah, what would you recommend? You have any recommendations, Bio? What bread I should try? It is real! Shiny Piplup is real, Bean, I believe. Rustic is more like simple water, flour, yeast, or starter-based breads. Oh. Is it like the bread you can buy in like Trader Joe's? Hi, Chris. Welcome on in. Hello there. By the way, do you want me to call you Spectre or Chris? Because I've been kind of calling you Spectre. But if you want me to call you Chris instead, I can call you Chris as well. Pumpkin seed! You can make pumpkin seed bread? I thought there was no use for pumpkin seeds except for like drying them out and then eating them like that. I didn't know you could have pumpkin seed bread. It sounds so cool. Not bread, but with the rust. Other baked breads like bakers tend to be fine. Oh. They'll mostly be talking about the prepackaged stuff. Oh. I want to go visit Italy and go on the tourist attraction, you know, going on the is it gondolas? Is that what they're called? I think you can find rustic bread at most stores, but it's better when you get it fresh, baked from like a bakery. Oh. Try all breads and find your favorite. I'm down. I love bread. I love bread. Bread. Oh my god, look at the Piplup. Oh, we are Piplup hunters. I can't believe that meme is real. Alright, Piplup. I like sourdough bread. Does that count as bread? Like official bread? Sourdough bread? Okay, let's start the resets. Oh, I gotta do the thingy-mabob. Wait. I gotta do the prediction before we get started. Prediction. Thank you, Mod Rocker. Yes. Okay, the first prediction happens at... oh my god. 6,800. Okay, so this is our first and potentially only prediction for today. And so if you want to predict, feel free to predict. We have the decision of either predicting in yes, I will get a shiny Piplup or Starly, or no, I will not get a shiny Piplup or Starly by 6,800. Dang, we're hitting the next 100 today. Holy moly. How long do you plan on going? Probably not for too long. I'm just gonna do one prediction for today. And so that's probably gonna take like half an hour, I wanna say, at least. So yeah, half an hour. Yeah. Half an hour. Can you imagine? This first one right here is a shiny, and then everyone starts to vote yes. Oh man, that'd been funny though if it actually did end up being a shiny for like the first one. 2 hours? No, not 2 hours for 25 pulls. What the heck? It don't take that long for 25 pulls. That's like 50 pulls right there. I am yapping, but I finished the PAX West chatting, at least for like the TLDR of it. And so with that, I won't be multitasking in the sense of like having pictures be pulled up. Google Translate's not helping. It's just hard to translate. Some of them because I do not know the terms for it. Okay. Okay, sourdough bread does count then. Okay, good. I like sourdough bread. I do like sourdough. It's pretty good. I kind of want to try making bread too. I've seen the videos of people making bread at home and I'm like, ooh, it looks kind of fun. You know, make some fresh bread. Oh, fondue! I forgot there are fondue places in Switzerland. I saw, I don't know if you guys know Stephanie Sue, but she went to go to, I think, Switzerland for her wedding. And they went to this like fondue place where they had fresh cheese fondue. And man, it looks so good. I've never gone to a fondue place for cheese fondue. And I'm just like, dang, I really wanna have some cheese fondue. Like, I know people like dipping stuff in chocolate fondue, but I'm a cheese fondue type of gal. Cheese over chocolate any day for me. Yeah. I've actually never made bread myself. Would you want to try? Maybe I can do that one day. We can do like a... You know, I still have that baking stream that I have to do. Maybe that can be the baking stream, you know? I can bake bread with y'all together. I can post the recipe like ahead of time, and then for anyone that wants to get the ingredients, you can get them. And so by the time that I bake them, we can like bake together, you know? Baked along stream. No, Maxie, not the broke again. I hope today is the day where you can get some points back. I was about to ask if maybe, and I know I'm being selfish, we could watch the Kirby Direct on the side because I don't think another Direct will be for a while. Oh, Bio! You really want me to react to the Direct? I can do that tomorrow. Tomorrow is like a free day for me because Sunday I want to play the water park simulator. And so Wednesday, I decided to change it to like the free game day. And so tomorrow, I could react to it. I'm practically free tomorrow for my schedule. Yo, bet one moi kyun. Okay, Mod Rocker. Okay. Hi, Lord Agent. It's nice to see you. I'm doing well. How about you? How you doing today? Oh, your partner's into making bread. Oh my god, so well. What kind of bread does he like making the most? He really likes crunchy breads. Oh, you don't like them to be too crunchy. Okay, well, what's your favorite then? What's his favorite? And what's your favorite bread? I'm curious. And think with chat too. If you guys have favorite breads, what do you like? No, not the baking PTSD. Breads. They announcing next mega. I saw the mega halucha. You know what Brovir sent me? So Brovir and I, we used to, you know, watch WWE, you know, with Mom Beer because he would translate for her when she would watch. And so we know all of like the WWE memes. And so Brovir, he sent me this tweet where someone made an edit of Halucha's Mega Evolution announcement, but with Rey Mysterio's theme song playing in the background. I'm like, wait, that actually fits so well. I love Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio and Batista were like my two favorites from WWE growing up. And so I thought it was so funny to hear 619 Halucha. But I'm curious though. I'm really curious. I really hope Meganium has a Mega Evolution. I really hope. I'll pop it up on the side. Oh, but I feel like, I don't know. I get worried about stuff like that getting muted. And so for main game portions, like today, for the Piplup, I usually keep it more to like just chatting. Yes, baking bread is hard. Oh, no. Shen has baking PTSD, not from bread. It's more so from his family, because he has a family member that has baked in the company sense where they had a business and all that jazz. And so, yeah, he has some PTSD from that. Guessing baking are you gonna play the game? Yes, Dada! I've been wanting to play the game since it was first announced as a remake because this is my favorite generation. Gen 4 is my all-time favorite. And so I was waiting for the day that this game got remade. And so, yeah, I've always wanted to play the game itself. But here I am, stuck in this decision that I made back in 2021 for a shiny Piplup. But can we get a shout out for Dada Dog as well, please? I don't know if I said that today yet. Hi, Lord Agent, by the way, as well. Oh, it's also from Bread. Oh, it's a whole dessert shop. Oh, I see. I see. One thing we had over here for like frozen food was like pizza baguette. A baguette with specific toppings. Oh, that sounds so good. I love bread. And then I like bread too when it's, you know, different flavors of bread, like garlic bread. Or if it's like in Japan, they have like different types of sandwiches, like yakisoba pan. Oh, it's so good. I love the konbinis in Japan because they have so much bread, you know, every day, right? And so I used to really like the melon pan or the melon bread. And then there's like the sandwich with the yakisoba. But for some reason, yakisoba pan and the melon pan are always the ones to be sold out. And they would always have like anpan, which is the red bean bread. But I grew up eating a bunch of like red bean bread, and so I'm kind of tired of red bean. I'm not gonna lie. If it's red bean, I'd want it in like a daifuku where you have the mochi with the strawberry and the red bean. But I'm kind of over red bean. I've had so much of it my whole life. I don't want anpan. I want melon pan. Ah, he hasn't made baguette yet, but you love... Really? I feel like baguette would have been one of the first things that I thought about making if I was thinking about like making bread. Interesting. Oh. Onion bread sounds so good. And cheese bread sounds good. Oh, I love bread. Carbs. Why are carbs so good? Home baking is way different from baking for a business. Yeah, right. It's like the large scale, right, versus like the small scale. Ciabatta? How do you pronounce that? Am I saying that correctly? Oh, sorry, Lord Agent. Sorry. Like I said, sometimes I forget if I said hello or not. Have you ever tried something called Flammkuchen? I've had Baumkuchen, but I've never had Flammkuchen. Let's see. Tart flambe. Flammkuchen. Let me see. But yeah, I've had Baumkuchen before. Oh! Wait, I think we have... Is that the same as like flatbread? Because it kind of looks like flatbread that people eat here in the States. If so, yes. It does look like flatbread. I don't know if it's exactly the same. Cream fresh, thinly sliced onions, bacon or ham, and a good... I think it is. Like, I'm pretty sure it's what we would call flatbread over here. Yeah, because I remember when I first had it, I was just like, oh, it's like flat pizza. But different because it's more... thinner? It's like thin, but not the same as pizza. Mega Meganium would probably look cute. I know, right? I really want to see that because I feel like a lot of the starters have Mega Evolutions, right? And I feel like there's a part of me that has a gut feeling that all of the starters that they come out with are going to have a Mega Evolution at some point. And so for Pokemon Legends EA, I don't think they've announced it yet, but I feel like all the starters that are coming out for ZA are going to have a Mega Evolution if they don't have one already. And so I'm just like, I'm pretty sure. Oh, thank you, Lord Agent. Thank you for joining the Discord. I love quiche. Quiche is really yummy. I like quiche as well. I wish some of the words would be translated more literally because god dang it, searching for translations is a chore. Oh, thank you for the water, Rook, by the way. Thank you. I guess if you want to buy, I can search up like flatbread and see if it's the same. Speaking of like Piplup, we are gonna be getting Empoleon and Pokemon Unite. Okay, does that mean we're gonna get some like costumes for Mega Meganium? If people complain about Mega Meganium, they don't understand that Pokemon meant to be cute. The thing is, I can see the hate happening already because Chikorita is one of the least favorite starters for a lot of people. Like, I remember when they announced Chikorita as one of the starters for Pokemon Legends ZA. There were so many memes about how there's only like 2 people that were excited for Chikorita. And me being one of the 2 people, you know, people would send me a bunch of the memes to me. And they're like, oh my god, it's you. And I'm just like, you know, it's probably just me and Wilbo. Okay, so Wilbo's also a big fan of Chikorita. So the 2 people that I'm referring to is me and Wilbo. We're the Chikorita lovers, all right? Okay? We love Chikorita, right? People hate on Chikorita, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. I love Chikorita, and so I will be a Chikorita lover for until the end of time. I love Chikorita. If people are 30. Have you seen the Mega Evolutions? I saw Halucha. I saw the Victory Bell. And then I've seen the Dragon Knight, but I haven't seen the other ones, if there were more of them. Hello, Miwi. Welcome on in on YouTube. Hi. Hello. How you doing today? Is that how I pronounce your name? If not, let me know. 2 people and both of them work for the Pokemon Company. No. The Chikorita lovers do exist, okay, outside of the Pokemon Company. All right, me being one of them. Chayu, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. I hope you enjoy your stay. Welcome to the tea shop. I like her, but give me Cyndaquil. Okay, Cian, you can have Cyndaquil. You can be the Cyndaquil lover. But I will say, I think out of the 3, between Chikorita, Totodile, and Cyndaquil, I think there are more Cyndaquil lovers than they are Totodile and Chikorita. I think the way it goes is it's Cyndaquil as the main favorite from Johto, and then Totodile comes afterwards, and then Chikorita is like last, unfortunately. But they do. I think they already have that. Isn't there a Mega Evolution of Typhlosion already? Or am I thinking about how in Arceus they have the Hisuian version of Typhlosion? I can't remember. Chikorita will always be my first pick if someone were to ask me to pick a starter for each gen. Yay! Okay, I'm happy to hear that. Yes. I feel like Chikorita needs more love. We will be getting some extra Megas in Unite. Mega Lucario and Mega Charizard X. She is precious, yeah. Yeah, Derpy, you can have Cyndaquil too. Maybe Charizard X will finally be good for real and not just out. Wait, really? Charizard X is not good compared to Charizard Y? I feel like back then when X and Y first came out, Charizard Y was outshined by Charizard X. Did I miss something? I feel like I didn't know that. Okay, Typhlosion has the Hisuian form. Okay, so no Mega for Typhlosion yet. Okay, then yeah, I'm excited. I'd be excited to see a Mega for Typhlosion as well as Meganium. Some Mega Evolutions are not that good, so I won't be surprised if Meganium is better than some of them. Which ones? Which ones do you think are not that good? I think in general, like aside from how good they are game-wise, like battle-wise, I really like the designs of the Mega Evolutions that have already come out. Like I really like, you know, Mega Houndoom. I like Mega Gardevoir. That's my favorite. I really like Mega Altaria. I will say, like, I think one of the Megas that I don't like as much is probably Mega Manectric. Just because Manectric looks so bulky as a Mega Evolution. It just looks like it has a big ol' mountain on its back. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know. It just looks kind of bulky. But the other Megas are really cool, though. Give me all Gen 1 starters. Yeah, the Mega Evolutions for the Gen 1 starters are cool. Charizard Y Mega evolved and made Drought instantly. It was disgusting to find the meta. That's because X was a dragon finally. Ah, I see. Okay. Charizard X was physical and lacked a proper move pool for it, because plus X and Y introduced fairies, making the... That's true! I remember when X and Y came out and I had what was her name? It was the ice dragon Pokemon. I had that Pokemon, and I remember I used that Pokemon against like every dragon type that I had fought against, and they were dead because that one was fairy and ice, and so it was like 4 times effective, you know, whether I used fairy or ice on the dragon. Mega Venusaur and Slowbro are my least favorites. Hopefully Meganium is fairy. I think I could see that. I could definitely see fairy for Meganium. Yeah. I forget what Mega Slowbro looks like, actually. Oh, you think we'll see like Mega Empoleon? Actually, no. I feel like they would probably go in order first before they start doing Megas for the other generations, right? That sounds like that would make more sense. What other Megas would you guys want to see if you guys had a chance to like choose Mega Evolutions? I think a Mega Milotic would be so pretty. You know, I think Mega Milotic could look very mythical or like ethereal, or I don't know. I think it would just work really well for Mega Milotic. Mega Kalos starters. Gen 1, Gen 3, and they skip. I know! I was so confused on why they skipped Gen 2. I was just like, oh? Where is Gen 2 at? Why would they skip Gen 2? I was just like, what? Eh? It just confused the heck out of me. Okay, we already have Mega Gyarados. So, unfortunately, I don't think they're gonna make a Mega Magikarp. It's like, can you imagine they decided to make a Mega Psyduck instead of a Mega Golduck? I'd be kind of interested, though, what a Mega Psyduck would look like. They skipped Gen 2, 4, 5, 6. We technically are... We do? What's a Mega Magikarp? Oh, you're gonna Psyduck at first? Oh, yeah. That's what I meant, right? Like, they have the evolution... Because the Mega is always gonna be the final evolution. It's not gonna be the evolution before. You know what I mean? But yeah. That'd be funny, though, if they start releasing Mega Evolutions, but of the first evolution. No, Mega Badoo. You know, Mega Bibarel, I think, would be horrifying. I don't know. Bibarel kind of scared me when I was younger, when I saw the evolution after Bidoof. I was just like, Bidoof's so cute, and then it evolves into Bibarel, and Bibarel's kind of scary. And so if we saw a Mega Bibarel, I feel like that would be nightmare fuel. You know what I mean? Dizzy Wolf, thank you for the follow, by the way. Welcome on in. So far, the Megas you've seen, which is your least favorite? I still feel like Mega Manectric is probably my least favorite. I don't know, just like something about Mega Manectric is just, I don't know. It kind of looked like, one, bulky, but then 2, it also looks like it's just not that different, I guess. Same with like Mega Sableye. Mega Sableye is cool because it's holding like a big gem that you usually see on its body. But I don't know, Manectric just seemed really bulky, in my opinion. Oh, the new ones! I don't really know if I have an opinion yet on the new ones. Probably Mega Venus or Victory Bell. But just because, I don't know, I'm just like, why does it look like that? But yeah, aside from that, I don't really have a preference yet on the current Megas that have been released. What about you guys? Do you guys like Mega Evolutions, or you have like a least favorite? Too old to know how the Mega Evolutions work. Back in my day, we didn't have Mega. Let me tell you, okay? So, Mega Evolutions are actually really dark and like messed up. Mega Evolutions are essentially the way that trainers have kind of, or scientists / Pokemon researchers have kind of like tried to push the limit of Pokemon and their potential. And so even though they look really cool, if you research into like the backstory and like the history and even like the effects of Pokemon being evolved into their mega form, it's really dark. Like Pokemon's pretty dark, if you guys don't know. There's a lot of Pokemon that is lore that's really sad. No. Not like a shadow version. When I say dark, I mean like twisted science experiment type of dark. You know what I mean? Like here. There's like an official Pokédex entry for, I think it was let me see. Here. So for, let's look it up just for some like lore, okay? So for example, for Mega Aerodactyl, right? The description for Mega Aerodactyl is that it says it will attack anything that moves. Mega Evolution is a burden on its body, so it's incredibly irritated. And then another one is a Mega Sharpedo. The yellow patterns it bears are old scars. The energy from Mega Evolution runs through them, causing it sharp pain and suffering. And so Mega Evolutions aren't really supposed to be like hyped about in the sense of the lore side of things, but in the side of like gameplay, like battle-wise, and the more like surface level Pokemon, you're just like, wow, it's a cool design. It's a really cool power-up, you know, that they give to Pokemon to transform into like a kind of like, if you think about like Gundam, or if you think about Power Rangers, or if you think about like Magical Girls, it kind of feels like a final evolution type of transformation, you know, like when they power up. But in Pokemon lore, it's actually really messed up. It's not the same as when, you know, you see your Magical Girls transform into their like final transformation. Or here, like for Mega Lucario, right? It says its aura has expanded due to Mega Evolution. Governed only by its combative instincts, it strikes enemies without mercy. And so essentially, the Mega Evolutions, there's so much power that's given to the Pokemon that it essentially will harm them. It'll irritate them. It'll cause them to lose like their sense of like, I guess if you say like in a human perspective, it loses like their sense of humanity, right? But in the Pokemon sense. And so it causes them to do things that aren't in their control. Yeah. Yes, it's a power-up, but it does come at a cost. Yeah. What the heck, Dad? Oh, excuse me. What is that? Okay, I don't think I would have ever thought about that comparison. It's more like, I feel like if you think of Magical Girls, but in the Madoka sense, you know? No, yeah, right. People thought Shadow Pokemon were messed up, and no, Mega Evolutions, I think, is by far probably one of like the most messed up aspects of Pokemon transformations. But once again, on the surface level, it's just really cool. Not a lot of people know about the Pokedex entries. And same thing too with like general Pokemon, right? Like if you look at the general Pokemon Pokedex entries, same thing too with Drifloon, right? Like Drifloon, you think, oh, it's a really cute balloon Pokemon that's ghost type. But if you look at the like entry for Drifloon essentially is known for kidnapping children if they like hold on to it. And so yeah, some Pokemon entries are kind of dark. There's a dark side to Pokemon. Or like here for Mega Gengar, right? It says it tries to take the lives of anyone and everyone. It will even try to curse the trainer who is its master. But yeah, the Mega Evolutions are kind of scary. Or here, Mega Absol. Normally, it dislikes fighting, so it really hates changing to this form for battles. So it's kind of like, you know, being put to fight against its will when it turns into Mega Absol. But Mega Absol, I will say, is a very pretty Mega Evolution. But the story, I'm just like, man, that's so sad. Or here, Mega Heracross, right? Mega Heracross, it's not really that dark, but it does say that it can grip things with its 2 horns and lift 500 times its own body weight. And so that kind of relates to the whole like rhinoceros beetles or other beetles that you've seen that can lift a lot of its weight. But that's a lot. That's a lot of weight that's lifting up. Oh, and then here. There's some like cool ones too. Like this one's not too dark either, right? For Mega Ampharos, it says excess energy from Mega Evolution stimulates its genes, and the wool it had lost grows in again. And so that kind of goes back to its like prior evolution as like Fluffy and, you know, Mareep, where it had wool, but it grows it back. So there are some dark ones, but there are some that are not as dark as well for the mega evolutions. It's just like a mix of both. Mega Absol absolutely should have had. Oh, you think so? You think Fairy would have been good for Mega Absol? Most ghost types have pretty messed up Pokedex entries. Hi Enigmas, welcome on in. How you doing today? They need to bring back shadow Pokemon and new shadow designs like shadow. Oh, you know, I forgot about that. I forgot about shadow Pokemon. Mega Hip. You know, Hypno was one of the first Pokemon that scared me when I was younger. I don't know. Hypno like creeped me out with the whole like idea of how, I forget if it's Hypno or Drowsy, but one of them, they essentially specifically cause nightmares for children. And so I was just like, oh, I don't like that. Isn't Mega Gengar? I don't know if Mega Gengar's a gate to hell. The Pokedex entry for Mega Gengar is that it just tries to take the lives of everybody, including its trainer. So it's just like, oh, it just wants to take everybody's life. Your little seedling finally started opening. Oh my gosh, wait, that's so exciting. I kind of want to have some plants too, but I'm also kind of worried about it. I'm just like, I don't know if I'd be able to keep the plants alive. But I have some friends that also took care of some like bear paws or some other succulents and plants, and so it's really fun to hear about them. Thank you for sharing. I'm doing well too. I have not been eating my gimbap that I have here next to me. I should probably eat some. I know, yeah. There's a creepypasta for Hypno. There's a creepypasta for Lavender Town. There is like the whole creepypasta about how like with Lavender Town, you know, like the whole premise for the Lavender Town creepypasta is that back in the day in Japan with the original Lavender Town theme, they talked about how it was changed at some point because it was causing a lot of headaches, right? For people that heard the theme. And so the creepypasta writers, they kind of took that and ran with it and were like, oh yeah, Lavender Town, its theme is so creepy because it used to cause headaches and would cause all these problems to people. But in reality, it was just like, you know, people had their headphones in, right? Into the Game Boy from back in the day. And some of the tones were like a little too high or a bit too loud for people. And so it caused them headaches. And so I think the developers were like, okay, we're going to fix it so that it's not too headache inducing. But for the creepypasta writers, they're like, it's related to the sound wave. And then people made this whole video about how like the sound wave for Lavender Town, if you like run it through like a sound wave program, you'll see Ghastly in the sound wave. Whoa, or stuff like that. But it's not true. It's just a creepypasta. But I remember though, back in the day, that did kind of scare me, you know, for small Vera. I was like, oh my god, it's real. Yeah, Lavender Town, like in general, is still a really creepy theme along with the story, you know, and the whole, what was it called? The tower, where you had to go up the tower full of dead Pokemon, right? But as I got older, it just became more sad to me than creepy. You know, because it's really sad. Like all the Pokemon trainers that are there to see their dead Pokemon. I was like, that's really sad. More than creepy. Hi, Mr. Neosis. Welcome on in. How are you doing today? Welcome, welcome. Yes, there are Maxi. There are a bunch of Pokemon that steal and devour Pokemon. Our children. Including Drifloon and Drifblim. Hi, T-Rex. Welcome on in. How are you doing today? Oh my god, that emote is so cute. Is that like a chihuahua? That's so cute. I love, you know, silly dogs. Pictures of silly dogs are so funny. I have so many saved on my phone. My phone is low on storage, and that's probably why. I have a bunch of pictures that I've saved of dogs and cats that I think are cute or goofy. It's so cute. It has like a little... Is that supposed to be like McDonald's fries container on its head? I did not bean. All these memes that you guys see in the slideshow, these are made by people in the community. And so if you guys ever make a meme or you do like an artwork like that right there, or if you have anything that you make in regards related to my shiny Piplup hunt, you can post it in the memes channel of my Discord, and then I will add it into the slideshow. And so, yeah, these are all made by people in the community. Yeah, I know. I see the explosion in the background. Oh my god, Davey! Long time no chit chat. How have you been? I hope you're doing well. Shiny Piplup is not a lie. It is not. But hi, how have you been? I hope life has been treating you well. It's hot today. Oh no! I hope you got some water to stay cool. You did, T-Rex. You did. I think it's so funny. Yeah, there are people that pop into the stream and they're like, "Oh my god, I forgot I made that meme right there." Where is it? It'll be here soon. TM. At some point, you'll see it, Davey. At some point, it'll pop up and you'll be like, "Oh my god." Everyone that has ever doubted the shiny Piplup, I'll be like, "See, I told you, it's real." Oh, right there. Yes, yes. Frostlass. Because Frostlass, I don't know if you know, but Frostlass is supposed to be based off of a yokai in Japanese culture and lore. And so it's supposed to be based off of the Yuki-onna. And the Yuki-onna, you know, is similar in the sense where it does try to, you know, take people that are traversing the mountain during snowstorms. And so because of Frostlass being based off Yuki-onna yokai, right, its Pokedex entry is similar, where it says it finds human or Pokemon that it likes, freezes them, and then takes them to its chilly den where they become decorations. But I love Frostlass. Frostlass is one of my favorite designs amongst Pokemon. It's so pretty. It would get me. Like if I was crossing the mountain and I saw it, I'd be like, "Oh, pretty," and I'd be dead. I'd be gone. I'd be taken by that Frostlass. We are close. We are getting to 6,800 today, so who knows? I might get to 6,900 sooner or later. I go the safest way to build points fast. Okay, Maxie. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Ninetales. Ninetales is also based off of a yokai as well. Oh, you never used her. I used her. I have a lot of teams that utilize Frostlass because I like having ice Pokemon. Ice Pokemon, I would say, is one of my favorite Pokemon types. Thank you for the stretch. Ooh. Thank you for the big stretch and for the water. Let me drink some water real quick here. Thank you for the redeem. Oh, that's some nice water. That's some nice cold water. Hey, what is that? There goes mine. Slowking and Frostlass could equal with Mega, Slowbro, and Glalie. You know, Brovira is a huge fan of Glalie. And I remember when I was younger, I was a huge fan of Frostlass. And so we were just like, Frostlass is better. No, Glalie's better. But Brovira was really into Glalie because Ash had Glalie. And a lot of Pokemon that Ash had in the anime, Brovira was a big fan of. And so he was really into Glalie when he had Glalie. He was really into Heracross when he had Heracross. But for me, I just like the pretty Pokemon. I was like, that's a pretty Pokemon. Or if like the you know, female companions that travel with Ash had a Pokemon that I liked, I'd be like, oh, I want that Pokemon too. Like I remember when I first saw May have Torchic, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get Torchic. And I really love Torchic. Torchic and Blaziken are one of my favorite starters. Not just because of May, but because, you know, I don't know. I really liked having my Torchic that I played with in Emerald. And then, you know, I got lost into the void when Brovira overwrote the save. But I love Blaziken. Frostland. What the heck? Okay, one, I feel like freezing Pokemon, I don't know why, but it felt like one of the rarest status effects that could happen, in my opinion. Like, I felt like whenever I tried to freeze up someone, or freeze a Pokemon in-game, it would take so long for them to actually freeze, even though there's a percentage for them to freeze with ice moves. And so, I don't know if I'd be able to get the freeze off before Frostlass gets her freeze on me. A really big fan of the Hisuian... Zoroark! And Zoroark! I love Zoroark and Zoroark. I feel like their movie was really cool. And so I like the Hisuian versions as well. I don't know why that's so hard to say. Hisuian version. Vulpix is not just the Arctic fox. The Arctic fox is the Galarian version of Vulpix. But back in my day, Vulpix was, you know, a fire type. Okay, before it became the... Oh, not Galarian. It's the... No. It's the Alolan form. Alolan form version of Ninetales is the one that's ice type. I'd assume she'd try to do that if it was a wild Frostlass. One that you surely raised wouldn't freeze you alive, right? Surely not, right? If I raised it from a Snorunt. Oh, Boopable! Why? Why was it Boopable? I know, right? The Pokedex about Glalie is really sad. I'm just like, dang, it's poor Jaw. Oh, you like Lugia? I like Lugia too. I really like Lugia and Ho-Oh. I was just like, wow. You know, those legendaries in that generation, I was just like, they're so cool. You know, you have Lugia, you have Ho-Oh, you have Latios and Latias, you have Deoxys, you have Jirachi, you have Rayquaza, which I call Rayquaza. I know people are like, oh, actually it's Rayquaza. But for me, it'll always be Rayquaza. Hi, Nyx. Yeah, Hisuian. Yeah, I gotta pretend you're like Arbok. I saw my post. I didn't say Alolan. I don't know why my brain was like Galarian. But yes, Alolan. I know, right? Lugia lore is interesting. I feel like, yeah, like all the legendaries from that generation are really interesting. Like Lugia's lore, Deoxys lore, Celebi's lore is really sad. You know? A lot of legendaries have really sad lore. Just when you thought they were the strongest, the next gen comes out and then the same thing happens. I know, right? They're always trying to one up the previous generation. They make the legendary seem so cool and so powerful, and then they bring up another legendary that is even stronger, you know? Like I remember with Arceus, I was just like, dang, Arceus is like a really horrifying, scary legendary, and then out of nowhere they're just like, okay, well, here you go, bada bing bada boom, Giratina, and you're like, okay. And then after that they keep on one-upping each other in terms of like how scary or intimidating legendaries are, and you're just like, oh. And then they made them cuter. Yeah. I feel like in Gen 5, a lot of the Gen 5 legendaries were really cute, you know, like Virizion and all the others, and Victini. I was just like, ow, they're pretty cute. Lugia Yokai inspiration looks similar towards Rayquaza's design, so it is possible his mega form will look like that. You think so? You think they're gonna have a mega evolution of Lugia? Lugia, one of the girlies. I think after Arceus, they realized they had to tone it down. Yeah. Me too, White Tie. I cried in the Celebi movie. I cried in the legendary Beast movie, the one with Entei and Raikou and Suicune. You think the legendary dogs were Eevees? I haven't heard of that theory yet. All I've heard about is that there's like a whole debate ever since I was younger about how the legendary dogs are not actually legendary dogs. You know, they're like legendary cats. But people have kind of settled on calling them legendary beasts instead, you know? But yeah, I remember growing up, I was like, oh yeah. I've always heard of them as like legendary dogs. But then people are like, no, they're actually more legendary cats, right? And then people are like, we'll just agree, disagree, and call them legendary beast instead. Because beast is more generalized. As opposed to, you know, trying to classify them as like dogs or cats. You hope they do? I want to see a mega... either Mega Celebi or a Mega Cresselia. I feel like Mega Cresselia would be so pretty. Can you imagine a Mega Cresselia and a Mega Darkrai? I feel like that'd be a really cool Mega Evolution duo right there, you know? God, I love Darkrai. I'm not gonna lie, I was really into... I think my all-time favorite Pokemon movie is The Rise of Darkrai. I don't know, something about Darkrai, you know, just being like misunderstood and just being, you know, a real one wanting to protect, you know, that girl in the town. I'm just like, dang, Darkrai is just misunderstood. Oh. Oh, I loved it. I loved Rise of Darkrai. I thought so too. I feel like, yeah, the OG versions called them dogs as well. But people were like, actually... I don't know. People, yeah, they started pointing that out, right? They were like, yeah, they're like, Entei looks like a tiger. And then, or no, they said, Raikou looks like a tiger, Entei looks like a lion. And then they're like, Suicune looks like a cougar or something like that. Legendary dogs roll off the tongue easier, so it's been hard for me to fight the habit. That's just, yeah, for me, it's just like a nostalgic habit. You want a Mega Licky Tongue? You know, I could see a Mega Licky. Yeah, I feel like that's something that I wouldn't be surprised about, because at this point they've made what, a Mega Halucha? They've made a Mega Victory Bell. You don't expect those to have Mega Evolutions, and so I'm just like, I wouldn't be surprised if Lickitung had a Mega Evolution, you know? Wait, have you seen the movie, Derpy? If you haven't seen Rise of Darkrai, I think you'll love that movie, because one of the characters has a Licky, and it's very extra. Both the trainer and the Licky are very extra. Okay, this is 96. We have 4 more resets for today. Oh, I can see that! You know, I haven't even thought about the newer Pokemon having Mega Evolutions. That'd be cool to see a Mega Tinkatonk. It has like a bigger hammer. A Mega Salazzle would be really pretty too. Oh, you know what I want? I want a Mega... Actually, no. Would I want Mega of that one? Yeah, because look here. I'm going to show you. Oh my god, hiccups. Sableye. So Sableye, right? It's like this like gem Pokemon, right? It's a gem Pokemon. Let's just picture of it. That's so cute. Okay, so right here, right? I feel like it has an underwhelming Mega Evolution, in my opinion, just because it doesn't really change too much. But here's like Sableye, all right? By itself, like a default Dan Sableye. You know? Like right here. If I can shrink the picture. Look at it. It's just a small guy. It's just a small guy, you know, sitting by itself. But then, for its Mega Evolution, in my opinion, when I first saw it, I was just like, wow, it just gets like a big old gem. But here, this is what it looks like as a Mega Evolution. And so it kind of reminds me of like what Tinkatonk would be like, you know, how Tinkatonk has like her hammer. But then, out of nowhere, her Mega Evolution, she has like a bigger hammer. Or maybe she'll have like 2 hammers instead. Yeah, this is the Mega Evolution for Sableye. You see what I mean? It's cool, but it's not really like that fancy. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Sableye from before, you know, it's just like, man, that's my Mega Evolution. What the heck? It just has a big old gem now, you know? But you have like really cool Mega Evolutions though. Like here, I'll show you Mega like Gardevoir, okay, versus regular Gardevoir. So Gardevoir, you know, regular Gardevoir is really pretty. It's like one of the prettiest Pokemon in my opinion out there, right? And so right here you have Gardevoir, right? But Mega Gardevoir gives off like that magical girl transformation where it, like when it transforms, you're just like, oh, it's so pretty, you know? It's very subtle, but it's subtle in a way where like it stands out, like it's a standout Mega Evolution. And so this is what Mega Gardevoir looks like right here, okay? So if I pull her up, Jajan! Look! It kind of gives off like a more poofed up like ball gown, you know, look at to it. It has like the parts to its like makeshift hair kind of design is more curled, and then it kind of has what resembles like a mask on its face, you know? It's just, that's so pretty. It's one of my favorites, you know? It's just like, oh, they did it so well. So subtle, but so different to the point where you can tell it like stands out compared to like Sableye, where it's subtle, but it's like not subtle enough. And then if we talk about like the Mega Evolution Gardevoir, but shiny, it has like the darker outfit scheme, which is also super pretty. I'm just like, you can't beat that. You just can't beat it, you know? Look at that! So pretty! So pretty. So pretty. And then there's other ones too, but yeah, I feel like some Mega Evolutions were done really well, and then there are some others that were just like, like they're okay, you know, they're alright. Not Halloween themed, it's like goth themed, you know, like the goth outfit versus like the regular. You know how like there's like those videos of like the people where they talk about how they're like, it's like the girlfriends, but then the girlfriends, there's like one that's like goth girlfriend, and then there's like the like girly pop girlfriend, you know? We have like the goth girlfriend, Gardevoir, and then we have girly pop Gardevoir. It reminds me of that. The two besties that are complete opposites in terms of like aesthetics, you know? I think that's really cute. And then here, I'll pull up like the other Mega Evolutions, but yeah, some of them are just a lot prettier or a lot cooler than other ones. Like here, let me show you Gengar. Okay, Gengar is probably one of the most noticeable ones that change. You know what I mean? And so here we have like regular Gengar, which is a ghost type Pokemon, a little gremlin, you know, Pokemon, but also really sweet in the anime itself. If I can type out a name that's not used already. Alright, look! Gengar is just a chill guy, you know? Gengar's a chill guy, just chilling there. You know? Standing there, waiting to scare people, right? But then, when you see Mega Gengar is kind of scary, but very fitting because it is a ghost type Pokemon, right? And so, this is what Mega Gengar looks like. And then don't even get me started on a Gigantamax Gengar. Gigantamax Gengar. Now that one looks like a gate to hell, like Biosend. I was just like, yeah, I feel like this one's a bit more accurate to that portrayal. But here's the Mega Gengar right here. Goes from chill guy to a ghost monster, but also still kind of cute, you know? Clodsire? No, Clodsire does not have a Mega Evolution, but I feel like with the popularity recently for Clodsire and for Quagsire, I feel like they probably would have a Mega Evolution. But I don't know if the Mega Evolution would be of Clodsire or of Quagsire. I don't know. Which one do you think it would be? I feel like it'd be a Mega Evolution of Quagsire instead of Clodsire. Yes, shiny Mega Gengar is white. It's white with purple. Yeah. Oh, it must be Quagsire. Okay. So Quagsire is actually like the original evolution of Wooper before they came out with the variant called Clodsire. Quagsire, you can definitely tell that it's like if you think of like a brown axolotl versus like the blue axolotl, okay? The Wooper that you know that evolves into Clodsire is more of like the brown variant of Wooper. But here, this is what Quagsire looks like. Ta-da! And then Clodsire is like the more like flat version of it, where it's brown instead, you know? And then the original Wooper is blue actually, not brown. So here, this is the original Wooper before they came out with the Clodsire Wooper, right here. Look! See? So blue and cute. But, you know, the Clodsire Wooper is also really cute, too. The brown variant, Axolotl. Super cute. Super cute. But yeah, Wooper and Clodsire. Look! There's a screenshot of one of the episodes of Wooper. Look, it's so cute in the anime. It's such a happy boy. It's just like... And then there's another one, too. There's another screenshot that I see right here of Wooper in the anime. Oh, look. There's the other one right here. Well, it's like happy. And then when it's not happy, it's like... Oh. Oh. Versus... Wah. Oh. Wah. Oh. Wah. But yeah. That's all you need to know, Silva. You don't need to know much about Pokemon. That's how a lot of people, you know, grew up with Pokemon. You don't really know much about them, right? You just kind of see the design, and then if you like it, you go for it, you know, to be part of your Pokemon team. You try to collect them all. And so, yeah, if you like the Pokemon because of its design, then that's all you need to know about them. I feel like most people that like Pokemon, all they do is they just like the look of it. And then it's like the more like diehard fans that really go into like the lore, or if they have lore, they know about it from like the anime. And so yeah, with Pokemon, it's like with Animal Crossing, you know? You like the look of their design, and then later on, you get to know them more. But for the most part, a lot of people just like the look of them. And so I feel like a lot of people get intimidated by that for that reason, right? They think of Pokemon and they're like, oh my god, Pokemon's been around for so long, and they feel like it's too late for them to get into Pokemon. But with Pokemon, all you need to do is you find a Pokemon you like, or Pokemon, like multiple that you like, and then from there you can just be like, yeah, I like it. Yeah, exactly. Like some people that like Pokemon, they don't play the games, right? They just kind of like the design, and then they'll collect the plushies of them. Hence why Pokemon centers are so popular in Japan. They have a bunch of plushies of Pokemon, and a lot of people like the design of them more than like the game itself. And so you don't have to play the games to like Pokemon, or even play like the card games to like Pokemon. Because if we're talking about the games, right? Like there's like the OG people that didn't really play the games. They more so played the TCG, and that's how they knew about Pokemon. And so it's gone from like, you know, there's like multiple mediums. There's the game, there's the anime, there's the card games, right? And so it just all depends on what you like. And then nowadays too, there's like Pokemon Concierge, there's Pokemon Go, there's Pokemon Cafe. There's a lot of different mediums that you can love Pokemon from. It's only people that are gatekeepers that are like, oh, because you only know that about Pokemon, that means you're a fake fan. And those people, I feel like, are no fun. You know, it's like, if people like Pokemon, why do you have to gatekeep them, you know? They don't have to like Pokemon the exact same way that you like them to like Pokemon. Same thing with other fandoms, you know? No, me too! I collected the cards as well. Like, my cousin had a bag of cards that they no longer wanted, and so they gave them to Brovere and I. And so we just collected the cards. We never played the actual TCG. We just collected the cards because we were like, oh my god, this card looks cute and this card looks cute, you know? Favorites are Evolution, Vulpix, and Ninetales. Partial to Alolan Thor, Hisuian, Zorua, Arcanine, Big Puppy, Surlage, and Alcremie. Oh, I love Arcanine. Yeah, I feel like Arcanine and Houndoom were big favorites of mine when I was younger because, yeah, they just reminded me of like big dogs, you know? Arcanine's like a big fluffy dog, and then Houndoom is like a kind of like a big Doberman-ish German Shepherd. Or not German Shepherd, more like a Doberman in my eyes back then. Yeah, they're really cute. Really cute. Only ever played TCG. I played TCG online a little bit, but I wasn't like super into TCG. I was more of the console gamer side of Pokemon. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, you know, if anyone here, you know, wants to get into Pokemon, but you feel intimidated, please don't feel intimidated, because once again, when it comes to Pokemon, you know, or any other franchise, if you like something about it, that's all you need to know, is that you like it, you know, it only affects you and your interests, right? And so no one else should be having a say in why you can't or can't like something if you like it for yourself. Same thing with Genshin or other gacha games, right? You don't have to do a certain thing. Like, I know plenty of Hoyoverse people that are into characters from Hoyoverse, but they don't play the game themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I know a bunch of artists that really like the character designs, and they'll draw fan art of the characters, even if they don't play the game themselves. Whether it be like they stopped playing or they never played it. I think it's perfectly valid to like the design of characters, even if you haven't played the games themselves. Hi Tay! Welcome on in! How you doing today? Welcome on in. Hi. Diagnosing German Shepherds as Alolan and Kanto Vulpix, even though those Pokemon are foxes. I know what you mean. I completely get what you mean, Memer. I I know some Pokemon, but I didn't know if they necessarily stick for me. Like, for instance, I also like Togepi back in the day, because I remember the last Pokemon I watched was around the time that Misty found Togepi. Exactly, you know? Like, a big reason why I love Chikorita is because of Ash's Chikorita. And same thing with Brovira. A big reason why Brovira likes a lot of Pokemon is because he saw Ash had them in the anime. And so I think that's valid. Not your Pookie. Wait, do you guys actually say Pookie unironically? Because I know that's like the new pet name that people use nowadays. But I don't know if people use it unironically. I feel like a lot of times I hear people say ironically, like, my Pookie. I can't even say it seriously without laughing. Pookie. Pookie. Not the... Hi, Pookies. It's weird I never picked up on TCG and only played the games, but for YGO, I did play both TCG and other non-TCG ones. Yeah, I haven't played too many TCG games. Like, I played some Weiss Schwartz back in the day, because someone I knew played it, but yeah, I didn't really play that many TCGs. Alright, second to last one for today, and then we'll do the last one, alright? And then we'll hop into Grand Bazaar. Oh, your color changed! Did you want your color to change, or did you want to change it back? Pookie Bear? Do people actually call each other like Pookie and Pookie Bear? But hi, Himbo. Welcome on in. How you doing today? Really? Pookie's an older pet name? Really? I feel like I haven't heard people use Pookie ever until people started talking about it online. I've heard of stuff like Sweetheart and, you know, Darling and Honey and Babe, Baby, you know, but I haven't really heard of Pookie. And so, I don't know. I didn't know that I was an older one. Or like Deer. Right? People will be like, hey, like, hello, Deer, and stuff like that. Pookie's from Boomer Times? Really? Oh, I did not know that. Today I learned that Pookie predates all the other pet names. Dang. Sugar Booger. Okay, I don't think I've heard anyone call each other Sugar Booger either. I've heard people be like Sugar, like, hey, Sugar, but not Sugar Booger. Hi, Cosmo. Welcome on in. How you doing today? Oh, okay, Memer. Asterion. Okay, alright. It's getting censored. Oh, I can't tell that's getting censored. I did say booger. Booger, you know, my students used to say that all the time because they were first graders. But instead of saying booger, they'd be like boogie. You know, they'd be like, you have a boogie to each other. Oh, I've heard of Sugar Bug too. Sugar Bug's a really cute name. I feel like I've heard that used for a lot of like grandmas to their grandchildren. They're like, hey, Sugar Bug. And I'm just like, oh, that's so cute. That's really cute. But yeah, like I said, I've only heard of people calling each other like Dear, Honey, Darling, Sweetheart, Sweetie, Babe, Baby, but not Pookie. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Thank you. We're on our last one, okay, chat? Last one. Will it be a shiny or will it be a loss yet again for the believers? 3, 2, 1. No! Looks like we're going into the 6800s. God. We might actually get to 6900. You know, not even joking. We might actually go all the way to 6900. But alright, chat. So that's it for today's shiny hunt. Like I said, I'm just gonna do one hunt prediction for today. And so I'll give you your points. And we're gonna hop into some Grand Bazaar to cope. We're gonna cope by going after some cute waifus and cute husbandos. But alright. Once again, the doubters have won. So take your points, alright? Take your points. I'm sorry, Mod Rocker. I'm sorry to the believers. But alright, that's it for Shiny Piplup for today. Okay. Oh, I haven't really seen Dove. I've seen people call others like Bunny, but not Dove. I've heard of Sugar Plum. Honey Bun. That's just the song. The Honey Bun Sugar Plum Puppy Yumpy Yumpkin, you're my sweetie pie. That's that song. Or Sweet Pea I've heard of, but I feel like I've heard more of like Sweet Pea for that one character. That's an actual Sweet Pea, you know? That's like the first time that I actually started hearing more of Sweet Pea being used. Oh, you're doing that on purpose, Mr. Neosis. I was just like, that combination sounds exactly like what I think about when I hear the song. Honey bun sugar plum pumpkin, oh my sweetie pie. That song gets stuck in my head though. Every time that I hear it, I'm just like, get out of my head, get out of my head. Oh, pumpkin, yes, pumpkin's one that people call each other too, right? They're like, hey, pumpkin, you know. In French, you'll hear someone hear Minou. I've heard of what's the one that I've heard for French? Because I remember there was a time where my French teacher was talking about it for like just in general, like how people will flirt in French. And oh no. I think the only one I remember is mignon, très mignon. I think it's like very cute. Oh, of course, yeah, the mi amor, right? That one, mi amor. Thanks. I want someone to call me my little baguette. What the heck, Silva? Not the my little baguette. Mon petit baguette. Is it mon petit baguette or ma? I forget. God, I keep forgetting what is like a female / like male. What were they called? Participle or something like that? It'd be ma, right? Ma petite baguette. Because baguette is a female word, right? Or no? Ma petite baguette. A mustache? What the heck is that? Possessive pronoun. Yes, that's what they're called. Yeah, if it was like a female or male pronoun, you'd have to adjust the word before to correlate with it. It'd be ma, right? Yeah, ma. So ma petite baguette. Yeah, because yes, baguette is a female noun. Yes. Ah, yes, la baguette. Yeah, ma petite baguette. If a girl said everything is going to be okay, sweetie, will give me a hug, I would malfunction. Oh, words of affirmation. I think words of affirmation are very sweet and very comforting. Words of comfort. Mon chéri. Not the mon chéri baguette of my heart. Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna call it there for the shiny hunt portion, okay? But for those that are sticking around for Grand Bazaar, I'm gonna swap over here in a second, okay? But yeah, I completely forgot what else they did for like flirting in French, because my teacher talked about it, right? Because I think one of the guys was like, how do I flirt with a girl in French if I'm in France? And I was just like, okay, all right, here we go. But yeah, she was just like, she was very wholesome about it, my teacher. She was like, yeah, I can just call them very cute. It can be like, très mignon, right? Or it can be like mon chéri, or it can be like mi amor. But mi amor isn't mi amor Italian? Or is that French? Gotta play Expedition. There were so many people cosplaying as that one character from Expedition 33, the one with the striped shirt and the beret. I saw like 1 million people cosplaying as that character. I don't know who that character is, but they had like the striped shirt, they had the red beret, and then they had the baguette as well. Mon amour is French. Mi amor is Italian. Ah, okay. Thank you, Himpo. I know they are called the languages of romance, the language of love. You know, languages of love. Would French people be offended if I spoke? Oh, wait, what's that? What kind of French is that? I'm not familiar with that webpage. My metropolitan French accent used to be so good. I sucked at French accents. I could not do a French accent. Even though I took French for like 4 years, I sucked. I sucked at French accents. Ah, yes, mi amor is also Spanish. That is true, Davey. Very true. French people make fun and mock Canadian French? Really? I don't think that's very nice. I still think, you know, there's different types of, you know, French out there. But yeah, if you wanna, you know, flirt, there's some tips right there on how to flirt based off of my French teacher back in the day. Call someone très mignon if you want to call them cute. You can be like, you know, j'adore if you want to say like it's like I adore or like I love. And some other stuff too that chat mentioned. Your language is often considered very aggressive. What's your language, Brat? I feel like, yeah, there are some languages that do come up a bit more aggressive because of how harsh the enunciations are. But, you know, it's just like the way that it sounds, right? But yeah, I think it's cool. I like languages. Languages are really fun. My dad's really into languages. My dad speaks a lot of languages. And so because of him, I became interested in languages from a young age. And so I try to pick up on languages, but I can't pick up on languages as fast as my dad. My dad, he locks in. My dad's able to lock in and then learn a language if he really wanted to and had the time in like a few days. And so for my dad, he's really good at picking up on languages. But for me, I feel like I can pick it up if I can use it more in like situations. Because fun fact, okay, just a little tangent. But if you guys want to learn languages, the best way to learn a language is to make it situational. And what I mean is that you want to be able to apply it in the practical sense. Because as like for me as a teacher, one of the things that we learned for ESL, for children that are, you know, English learners, the easiest way for them to pick up English is for them to use it objectively and to use it in situations where you need to use the language, because that's how we basically learn our first language. You know, we need it to communicate with our guardians, with our parents. We need it to express our needs and wants, right? And so yes, immersion is the best way to be able to learn languages. That's why they always talk about, like, if you want to learn a language, they recommend living in the country that speaks the language. And so that's like the best way, because you kind of have to force yourself to use it. But it also requires you using the language, because like for example, for Japan, right? People always say like, oh, if you want to go to Japan, you can learn Japanese, right? But there's a lot of people that don't realize that they have to actively choose to use Japanese if they want to learn Japanese in Japan, because there are some people that live in Japan, and nowadays with our like advancement in translations, a lot of people are able to just get by with English in Japan. And so you have to actively like put yourself in situations where you utilize Japanese conversation and words if you want to learn it in the immersive setting. So you have to choose to actively use it, you know, like at the konbini, or if you're going to a restaurant, right? You choose the menu in Japanese, or etc., etc. Same thing if you're going to France, you know, if you want to go to France to learn French, you have to purposely put yourself in situations where you're utilizing the French that you've learned, you know? But okay, chat, I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick little break just so that we can get ready for some Grand Bazaar, and we can chat some more about languages as I'm, you know, doing my dailies in Grand Bazaar. But that's gonna be it for Pokemon Shining Pearl for today for our shiny Piplup. And so if you guys are here just for shiny Piplup, no worries. But yeah, I'm gonna hop into the next waiting room for those that do want to see some Grand Bazaar today as well. So let me set that up real quick. What the heck? Not that. See you later, nerds. But yeah, Derpy, if you know, keep up with your Japanese, if you go to Japan, that could be a great place to practice your Japanese, see how much you've gotten in terms of how much you've learned, and then apply it there. Okay, let me do this for the waiting room. Okay, all right, let me set this here. People learn Japanese to watch anime right now, feeling strong. I mean, yeah, you know, if you have like a desire to play a game for a specific reason, if you have a motif even if it's something like wanting to understand, you know, anime without subtitles, that's still good. I feel like one of the best things to have is like a motive when you're learning a language, you know, to have a purpose, a goal that you want to reach. Because then if you have a goal in mind, you know, that can be your benchmark for how much you learn. And so I think that's really cool, even if it's just something like wanting to learn Japanese to watch anime. There are some people that want to learn Japanese to, you know, get closer to the culture. Some people that want to learn it because they want to live there. Some people want to read the books in Japanese for novels and stuff. And so I think it's important to, one, set a goal, you know, set a goal, an objective that you can work towards. And then two, you know, find ways to help you achieve that goal. And the thing too, right? I feel like, so they always talk about like how anime, like how Japanese is used in anime isn't really accurate to how people use Japanese in real life. But I think, you know, I think with anime, it can be used as like a helping tool in the sense of like helping you hear the words and being able to pick up on the conversations and the way that they're said. Because this is the same thing with like listening to music, right? If you listen to music in a specific language, that can really help you pick up on the way that's pronounced, the way that's utilized. Same thing with other forms of media. I think it's only bad if, like from what I've heard, it's only bad if you try to say the words and phrases that you hear in the anime, but in real life. But it's the same thing too with like, you know, with movies. Like if, for example, if someone's learning English, right, but they're learning how to speak English in movies, there are some movies and some series where you don't really speak that way in real life, right? But it's specifically like for the movie or for the TV show. You just have to like be able to differentiate like how people speak usually versus how they speak in the movie or the show. But I do feel like that's a whole other conversation too, because there are some people that are just more animated when they're speaking versus other people that are less animated, you know? Like I remember when I met Derpy in person for the first time, you know, he was like, dang, you're kind of animated. I was like, what? But yeah, apparently I speak very animated. And I think he talked about how like I use my hands a lot to speak, or I'm very like expressive with my facial reactions. And I was just like, oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Japanese drama would be better. Yes, right? That too, right? Like you can, like for example, if you want to check out like Japanese dramas, or not even Japanese dramas, if you want to watch like Japanese reality TV shows, those are good too, right? Because it's reality TV shows, and so you're getting to hear them talk more in reality as opposed to in a fictional sense. And so yeah, it just depends on what you want to use as a media to help you either familiarize yourself with the language or to learn more about it. Okay, I will go ahead and end the stream on YouTube so we can hop into the VOD for the Grand Bazaar portion of today, okay? So can we get some cool buys in chat, please, for those watching on YouTube? But yeah, for those on YouTube, like I said, I'm going to end the VOD for Shiny Piplup, and then we're going to hop into Grand Bazaar. You should be automatically rated into the next waiting room, all right? But yeah, for those that were here just for Shiny Piplup, I will see you in the next one, okay? Bye-bye! But for those that are here for Grand Bazaar as well, I'll see you